Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will explore The Depths of the Double by Fyodor Dostoevsky. The Double is a novella by Fyodor Dostoevsky, first published in 1846. It explores themes of identity, isolation, and mental disintegration. The protagonist, Yakov Petrovich Golyadkin, a low-ranking government clerk in Saint Petersburg, finds his life upended when he encounters his doppelgänger, a man who looks exactly like him, but behaves in ways that undermine Golyadkin's position in both his professional and personal life. The novella delves deep into the psychological breakdown of the protagonist and uses this to explore existential themes. Plot summary: Yakov Petrovich Golyadkin, a titular counselor, awakens one dreary morning in his modest apartment in St. Petersburg, uncertain if he is still caught in the remnants of his dreams or if he is truly awake. His small, shabby room with its grimy green walls feels confining as the dull autumn light seeps through the window. Golyadkin is an anxious man, burdened by self-doubt and plagued by feelings of inadequacy. He checks himself in the mirror, worried that something might be amiss, perhaps a blemish or flaw that would mar his appearance, but finding nothing wrong, he dresses meticulously. Today, he has an important mission. He is to attend a grand dinner party hosted by his superior, Alsofy Ivanovich, where he hopes to impress. The day begins in a whirl of nervous energy. Golyadkin, determined to make an impression, hires a carriage, puts on his best clothes, and sets off through the busy streets. As the carriage rattles along Nevsky Prospect, he anxiously scans the faces of passers-by, hyper-aware of being seen. At one point, he spots two colleagues from his department and quickly ducks to avoid being recognized, embarrassed by the grandiosity of his hired carriage. His mind spins with worry, as he feels increasingly out of place in this world of appearances and hierarchy. Before the dinner, Golyadkin makes an unplanned visit to Christian Ivanovich, a doctor he had recently consulted. Though Christian Ivanovich had suggested a change in lifestyle, more socializing, more cheerfulness, Golyadkin feels that no one, not even the doctor, truly understands him. During this visit, Golyadkin is awkward, uncertain of why he has come. His words stumble over themselves, and he tries to convince both the doctor and himself that everything is fine. But Christian Ivanovich sees through him, sensing the man's inner turmoil. Golyadkin, unable to articulate his growing unease, leaves abruptly, more disoriented than before. Despite his nerves, Golyadkin makes his way to Alsofy Ivanovich's dinner party. But when he arrives, he is greeted with a shock. He is refused entry. The servants turn him away politely but firmly, and Golyadkin is left humiliated. He stands at the door, trying to argue his way in, insisting that he has been invited, but the butler only repeats the message: "They cannot see you." Defeated and flushed with shame, Golyadkin retreats, overwhelmed by a mixture of confusion, anger, and despair. As Golyadkin wanders the streets in a daze, something even more unsettling happens. He encounters a man who looks exactly like him. This stranger is not just similar in appearance, he is identical in every way, down to the smallest detail. At first, Golyadkin thinks he is hallucinating, his mind unable to comprehend what he is seeing. But the double, Golyadkin Jr., is real. He is not only real, but disturbingly confident and charismatic, everything Golyadkin is not. Golyadkin Jr. quickly insinuates himself into Golyadkin's life. At work, the double charms their colleagues, and even Alsofy Ivanovich, who had previously treated Golyadkin with disdain, seems to take a liking to this more assertive version of him. Golyadkin, already fragile, watches in horror as his double begins to replace him in every aspect of his life. Golyadkin Jr. mirrors his actions but does them better, more confidently, and with a sinister smile. As the days pass, Golyadkin becomes increasingly paranoid, convinced that his double is plotting to ruin him. Desperate to regain control, Golyadkin confronts his double on multiple occasions. Yet each time, Golyadkin Jr. only smiles and evades his questions, dismissing Golyadkin's concerns as delusions. The double begins to mock Golyadkin, taunting him with his failures and social inadequacies. Golyadkin, who had always been timid and anxious, finds himself unraveling. He becomes obsessed with the idea that his double has been sent to destroy him. Every gesture, Every word from Golyadkin Jr. feels like a calculated attack, and Golyadkin's fragile sense of self begins to crumble. In a final act of desperation, Golyadkin tries to expose his double to the world. He believes that if others could see the two of them together, they would understand the cruel trick being played on him. He attempts to speak to his colleagues, to Alsify Ivanovich, and even to Christian Ivanovich, but no one takes him seriously. To them, Golyadkin is simply acting irrationally, his behavior becoming more erratic with each passing day. His claims of a double are dismissed as the ravings of a madman. In the end, Golyadkin is completely undone. His identity, already fragile, disintegrates under the weight of his delusions. The line between reality and madness blurs irrevocably. One evening, he is found wandering the streets, muttering incoherently about enemies and conspiracies. Christian Ivanovich, upon hearing of his condition, arranges for him to be taken away, and Golyadkin, exhausted and broken, is led to a carriage. As the door closes behind him, the double is nowhere to be seen, but Golyadkin's mind is haunted by the shadow of his other self. A self that was, perhaps, not real in the first place, or worse, a part of him all along. As the carriage drives off into the night, the world outside continues as if nothing had happened, while Golyadkin's fragile sense of reality shatters completely, leaving him in the darkness of his own making. Looking for more great reads? Be sure to check out other books by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Find them in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Fyodor Dostoevsky's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.